and Mary Todd Lincoln in the White House in the 1860s, a long time ago. But many similarities still. All right, Eleanor Roosevelt, the 1930s and 1940s. A lot of time to do a lot of work. Jackie Kennedy, the 1960s. We know her so much for Camelot. And Lady Bird Johnson in the 1960s, she was a piece of work. and there's another First Lady, of course, Colleen McCracken, whose sewing shop we're in. But let's just get a few ideas going first about the First Lady. We're going to start with Eleanor. We'll start with the sketches right here. Tell me, who knows something about Eleanor Roosevelt? Anything, just ideas.
Civil rights activist.
Civil rights activist, yes. What else?
Lived in New York.
Lived in New York, yes. What else?
Toured the different military bases in World War II.
Exactly, toured the military bases, yes.
She took a ride with one of the Tuskegee Airmen. And got in trouble for it with certain people.
She got in trouble for a lot. And one little thing, I don't know if y'all know, but in World War II, she always gave Franklin a list every night of the things he needed to do the next day. And if he said he needed to sleep, she said, well, you're president. I'm awake. You should be awake yourself. So finally, in World War II, there was chaos, and Franklin King said, you just have to get her out of the country. Just send her anywhere. We don't want any more ideas from her. So they sent her to the South Seas, and she came back irate because the men fighting on the front line, who were black and white, ate in different mess halls when they returned, and one was much better than the other. And she said, if they're fighting side by side on the front lines, they're both going to have the same food, and it's going to be equally good. So you couldn't stop her, even sending her outside the country. And Jackie Kennedy. Tell me about Jackie Kennedy.
We did the White House.
We did the White House, great sense of fashion, yes. Anything else? Any little teeny tiny? Photographer, great photographer. Yes, she had a great sense of style, of vision, and a great perspective about it. When she and her sister crossed the Atlantic on, which was fine, they were stepchildren of her mother's new husband, and his children were spoiled in the extreme, and they got to cross the Atlantic on a steamer, but they weren't first class. But Jackie and her sister would get all dressed up, sneak up a back staircase that Jackie had found, and spend the whole day with first class. And at night, Jackie would come home and write cartoon strips of everyone who was in first class. So she saw right through the facade. She knew what was of value. Okay, Mary Todd Lincoln. Who knows something about? Yes.
She also redid the White House after 1812 devastation.
Yes, she did. Style was a big thing. That's fabulous. Okay, anything else?
Hospitalized for mental illness.
Say that again?
Hospitalized for mental illness.
Mental illness.
Hospitalized for mental illness.
Yes, for mental illness. Now, one thing that is of interest, she was a piece of work too, but one of her sons had her committed to, an asylum. At that time, if a husband put a wife in an asylum, the wife had nothing to say about it. And if your husband wasn't there, your son could do it. But Mary Todd Lincoln and a friend of hers, a woman who was a lawyer, got her out. She's like, other people may be stuck here for their life, but I'm not going to be. So I think there was an incredible mix on there, just like with everybody. And Lady Bird Johnson, anything about Lady Bird?
Popularized the wildflowers, flinging wildflowers on the highways.
Yes, yes, very much. You'll hear more about that today. Anything else? Yes.
She encouraged people to see America first rather than go to a foreign country.
Yes, she loved our nature, our country. Anything else? Yes.
Did she attend cabinet meetings?
Say that again?
Didn't she attend cabinet meetings?
Actually, this will be my story then. She sometimes called in. Once she and Ethel and Jackie Kennedy were having tea, and Lyndon was in, the Oval Office with Jack and Bobby, and he goes, Bird, bring me so-and-so's phone number. And she stops drinking tea, eating cake, she pulls this huge phone book out of her purse, and she runs in there, and Jackie and Ethel are like, what is she doing? And she gave Linda, she said, oh, no, this is his number, now you call him, and remember, the last time we talked to him, I gave him, you know, some of my cookies, so be sure to mention that. And then she left and went back. So, yes, she was a piece of work. She got a lot of things working. But, anyways, these ladies are ready for a show, so I'm going to step off stage, and then we will start the show.